sherry. Sherry, sherry. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have an extreme bottle here in my cask. It's a Glen Grant 1962, bottle 2008, so it's 46 years old. It's 40% ABV, and it's first fill sherry cask, European sherry cask. And well, it's not full. There had been some losses. No, not to the people, not to me. There was a leak at the top, and well, we lost that. And that's about 50 euros we lost. So I decided we will open it, and there's no way to sell it. And who questions say, well, may I have a sample of that, and do you ship it? And no. So there's no way to ship it inside my homeland because there are so many regulations which prohibit selling or shipping open bottles. There's the tax and the food and administration. So there's so many regulations. You can't ship it, and outside no way at all, because every country wants to have its own taxes, and you have to go to the customs and say, well, remove the tax and add a new tax. So no way to ship it. So it's for me not the worst case. The price of this bottle is around 900 euros. It's an independent bottle from Gordon MacPahil, and this one is the most famous and most important and the leading independent bottler in Scotland. It's located in Elgin, and they have, I think, 17,000 casks when I asked them the last time, maturing in their own warehouses. And if you see this label, this is the former original label of Glen Grant, and it is from the times where Glen Grant wasn't selling its own whiskey. So they just delivered it to the blenders and to grocery stores and to whomever. And so they, at Gordon MacPahil, started to bottle it as a single malt. And today they have, well, a lot of old casks, and not always are all vintages like this 1962 available on the market, because, well, the number of casks is not that high. And you see, this is a first fill sherry cask. There are some casks from Gordon MacPahil which are not first fill sherry casks. You can see the lighter color, and Gordon MacPahil isn't artificially coloring its whiskies. So this is real. But mostly they have multiple casks mixed together in this original label bottlings. Some people say 40% ABV is a little bit too less for such expensive and extraordinary bottles. But in this bottle, the cask has a much more influence than the ABV. So, well, I personally would prefer also 43 or 46. But those very, very old bottles, I think they are bottled at 40 because then you get a few bottles more out of your casks. And the price is already that high that you can't ask for more money if the ABV is a little bit higher. So that's it. With those extreme long maturation, I took a video how you open a bottle the right way. And when I opened this bottle the first time, the cork was sticking to the inner surface of the bottle. It was incredible. And I had so much fear to kill the bottle, the cork. And I have no idea why the the bottle was leaking and we were losing so much of this bottle. But here you can see the cork has a black hole. And I think that that there is a connection from this black hole into the top of the cork, so that the whiskey might drop out over a longer period of time. When the bottle is lying and the cork is, well, it doesn't matter. It will be, just fill it. So here we go. So that this bottle is like, yeah, here you see, it was dropping. So there's a connection from the top to this hole. Yeah. Always store your bottles you're collecting in an upright manner. It is different to a wine bottle, a bottle of wine, because the cork of a wine bottle is extremely pressed into the bottle so that it is fixed and it's removed just one time. This is a cork you need for, well, you open and close it for 30, 40, 50 times. So it has to be a little bit more loose than the wine cork. And because it's loose, you might lose something. Yeah, so always on top, upside down. Oh, sherry, 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 and a little bit of menthol and aniseed. Not that much as it is in a Pernod or in a Ricard, though. It's more like this light note. At first I thought about the alcohol. At 46, 48%, you sometimes have this cooling effect in your nose. But this one has only 40%, so this is something different. I think it comes from the cask, and it's a little bit eucalyptus, yeah. And then there's a lot of oak, sherry, dark fruits, oak. Yeah. I have to swallow. It's that intense, and this oakiness, this European oak and bitterness arises. Very dark chocolate, espresso coffee, intense, and some resinous taste is there. So this is hardwood, this is oak. There's no resin in this oak. Its resin is in softwood, like fir or pine. But this taste, it's resinous. There's some liquorice, yes, as well. Some bitter, intense liquorice. And officially there's orange peel in it. No, it's... No, it's old grapefruit. Bitter old grapefruit. Yeah. So, this is something very special, and don't believe that a whiskey which is getting older and older is getting better and better and better. It changes. It changes its character, because the distillery character, which might be very fruity and so will reduce a lot until it's completely invisible, and the cask comes up and shows everything it has, and in the end there's only tannins and bitterness and blah. So there is a top a peak, a maximum of perfection, and then it goes into into oakiness, into bitterness, into cask. And if you compare two very old whiskies from the same region, approximately, so I think I had a Strathyla 64. Did I taste that here in front of the camera? Yeah, I think so. There's not much difference between those very old whiskies if they come out of the same type of casks. There are differences between the cask as well, because the oak tastes differently from the region where it grows. So a northern slope of a mountain will taste completely different than the southern slope. How thick are the rings, the year rings of the cask, of the oak used for the casks? So there are a lot of different influences for the cask as well. But in the end, it's tannins. If you have the whiskey in your mouth, it's sweet spiciness. I'm not aware of sweet spices, no. Like sweets with spices. In my childhood, there had been sweets which had the normal intense herbs inside. So they were used for if you had a cold, a cough, you had those sweets. And the spices were good and everything was sweet. So children liked it very much. And this is the remembrance. Those spices covered in sweets. Yeah. So once in your lifetime you should have one of those very, very old whiskies. Unfortunately, the prices aren't getting better. So this is around 900 euros. The prices rise because, well, the demand is high and there are a lot of people out there who are willing to pay for the vintage they were born in. So people put their money together to present such a bottle as a gift to somebody who is born in or was born in 1962. Yeah, and you see this is bottled in 2008 and it's already 7 years ago. That shows that these bottles aren't sold that often. And not always all vintages are available. So if you're in vintage, year of birth is 61, you might not be able to find one at Gordon MacPahil. Might be. So there is, well, the vintages former than 1972, I think, they are quite rare now. Yeah. In the 70s, you might be happy to find bottles quite often, but in the 60s or even in the 50s, close to impossible. And if in the 50s, I think I had a Glen Grant 55 already. I don't know. No, not in English. No. It's close to impossible to get a 55 from the shelf of a dealer. There you have to go to the collector's market and be very, very careful. There are a lot of bottles out on the market which are refilled with young whiskey. You have to know that person. You can't go to an auction platform. They always say, no, we are not responsible for the goods we sell. We are just a platform. So be very, very careful to buy those old bottles. They might not contain what's written on them. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, there's more to come. Feel free to discuss this bottle with me in our forum on Whisky.com. And I think there might not be an entrance in our whisky database for such an old bottle. Thank you very much.